spent 9 magical days in southern Thailand on the tiny island of Koh Phangan. You might know it as the home to the wild full moon parties that draw tens of thousands of people to the island every single month. But it is so much more than that. There are epic waterfalls, rugged jungle trails, idyllic beaches, lively markets, picturesque snorkel spots, stunning temples, adorable beachfront bars, secluded swimming holes, and so much more.
Koh Phangan is also a favorite destination among digital nomads, which was a huge reason we went on this trip. This trip to Thailand for us was equal parts adventure and co-working. So in between sipping coconuts
I got that.
and swimming in jungly rivers, we dove headfirst into our business and received expert feedback from our amazing blogging and business coaches, Bri and Joe. You might know them as Bucket List Bri and Red White Adventures on Instagram.
Throughout our 9 days on the island, we trekked through the jungle, chased jaw-dropping waterfalls, immersed ourselves in Thai culture by taking a cooking class, visiting temples, training for Muay Thai, and made a strategic step-by-step plan to reach our ambitious business goals. And most importantly, we tried new things. We experienced a lot of firsts, and we were stretched miles outside of our comfort zone for 12 days straight. Let us show you.
Getting to the island was an adventure in itself. This was my first time outside of North America and Alexis' second. In January, Alexis met up with 9 blogger friends in Morocco, Africa for a week of treks in high Atlas mountains, camel rides, fireside dancing, desert camping in the Sahara, remote homestays and culture experiences, and plenty of heartfelt conversations and meaningful connections.
The journey from Tennessee to Thailand involves hopping on one of the longest plane rides in the entire world. So, after we caught a flight from Knoxville to Denver and a connecting flight from Denver to San Francisco, we ran through SFO Airport and barely and breathlessly made it to our gate. They had already closed the gate, but thankfully they let us on after some convincing on my part.
Anyway, we boarded a 17-hour flight from San Francisco to Singapore. Thankfully, we bought seats in the exit row, so we had plenty of room to stretch throughout the flight. I couldn't imagine being smashed in a middle seat in the back of a plane. So a pro tip is to spend the extra cash and sit in a comfortable seat where you can stretch and get up whenever you want.
By the time we arrived in Singapore, caught yet another plane to the island of Koh Samui, and hopped on a 30-minute ferry to Koh Phangan, we were exhausted, but beyond excited. We were thrilled to not only be in a brand new country, but also meet up with 2 of our online friends and coaches, Bri and Joe.
Alexis's first impressions of this trip were that the island had major U.S. Virgin Island vibes. The roads were narrow, windy, and steep. They drove on the left side of the road. The landscape was very tropical and jungly, and the island was lush and mountainous.
The first day or 2 on Koh Phangan was spent relaxing and recovering from the long travel journey. We tasted our first fresh coconuts, lounged on the famous full moon beach, watched the sunset from our adorable beachfront coworking resort, Tiki Beach, and of course, chatted about all things blogging.
By the second full day, we were officially feeling refreshed and ready for the adventures to begin. We dove headfirst into the amazing Thai culture by participating in an authentic cooking class. We shopped, prepped, cooked, and ate close to a dozen delicious Thai cuisines. This was a perfect way to figure out what we liked and didn't like, so we knew what to order at restaurants during the rest of the week.
Our favorite dish was pad see ew, which is essentially a stir-fried noodle dish with these incredibly delicious, sticky yellow noodles that are to die for.
Next, we got to chase one of our favorite waterfalls of the trip, Wang Sai. The waterfalls along this trail were breathtaking, but the best part was the journey to the final waterfall. It was less of a hike and more of a scramble. We scrambled through a dry creek bed on these giant jumbled boulders. Adventures like these make us feel like kids again.
When we arrived at the final waterfall at the end of the creek bed, we spent close to an hour splashing around in the shallow pool at the base of the falls, snapping photos, recording videos, and sharing some of the biggest belly laughs. Let's go!
One of our next activities was hiking to the famous Bottle Beach. This beach is only accessible by foot, and by boat, there are no parking lots adjacent to the beach. So this beach felt extra remote and secluded.
The adventure began with a steep but rewarding hike through the hot and humid jungle. I don't think we've ever sweated that much in our entire lives, but the views towards the end of the hike made all the blood, sweat, and tears worth it. Okay, maybe no tears, but definitely some blood, sweat, and a lot of blisters.
We were hiking through a dense forest most of the time, but suddenly it opened up and we were surrounded by these insane mountains. We could also see the water from this vantage point, so we knew we were close to Bottle Beach.
I mean, check out these views. When our hiking sandals first hit the sand on Bottle Beach, our jaws dropped. We were mesmerized by the turquoise water, emerald green cliffs, the blindingly white sand, the palm trees swaying in the breeze, and the giant boulders stacked precariously at the edge of the foamy sea.
We planned to make the very steep and rugged ascent to the iconic Bottle Beach viewpoint next, but we were feeling drained after the hike. I think between the suffocating heat, the relentless sun, and the thick humidity, we were feeling pretty dehydrated and exhausted. So instead, we decided to hop on a longtail boat to Coconut Beach, which was near the parking lot where we parked our car. And let me tell you, this experience on the boat felt so perfectly Thai, and we soaked up every minute.
Next, we were introduced to the very intense sport of Muay Thai during our 1-hour training session. The trainers treated us as though we were prepping for the Olympics, shouting at us, calling us out if we made mistakes. We couldn't help but giggle at the intensity.
The next adventure turned out to be one of Alexys's favorite of the trip. We hiked to the famous Phang waterfall. While the giant 200-foot waterfall wasn't flowing very heavily, we went in the dry season after all, we got to see plenty of other spectacular waterfalls sprinkled along the trail. We crossed rivers, climbed ropes and chains, and swam in the most beautiful swimming holes smack dab in the middle of the jungle.
It began to rain, so we hurried onto the overlook, which provided expansive views of the island, before turning around and heading back to our car. We were soaked, but on cloud 9 because of what we had just witnessed.
The sunset that we caught that night was one of our favorites of the entire trip. We walked across the beach and crossed the narrow sandbar to a little island where we watched the sun descend into the horizon, painting the sky with shades of royal purple and fiery orange. Dozens of little lights from boats in the distance dotted the ocean and glittered underneath the dwindling light. Alexys captured these stunning photos of Bri when she was in the water, right before she got stung by some sort of creature beneath the waves. Yikes!
Our last day was reserved for a day trip to Koh Tao, where we would snorkel and hike on the little island off of Koh Phangan, but unfortunately the weather didn't cooperate and we couldn't go. But this hole in our itinerary allowed us to make the hike up to Bottle Beach viewpoint after all. We didn't think we would get to do it, so we actually didn't mind the itinerary change.
The hike to the viewpoint was quick and easy until the very end. The last few hundred feet involved hugging the side of narrow cliff faces, straddling ridges, and scrambling across giant boulders with steep drop-offs on both sides. It was quite the adventure.
Erica braved it to the very end and snapped some amazing photos of Bottle Beach, but the best shots were the aerial ones that Bri captured on her drone.
While those were the main adventures, the trip was sprinkled with countless laughs and memorable moments along the way.
Perhaps most memorable was making our own DIY coconut ice cream drive-thru. We were driving and noticed a sign for coconut ice cream at this adorable restaurant, so we stopped in the middle of the road. Erica rolled down her window, more so as a joke to see if we could get ice cream brought to our car, and to our surprise, out comes a worker. He took our order and brought us coconut ice cream directly to our car. We didn't even have to get out of the car. We were cracking up as we drove to a roadside gas station and ate the ice cream on the side of the road. It was too cute.
Aside from that, we enjoyed watching wild monkeys play in the road, eating some bitchin' bangin' burritos at an outdoor market. Yes, it was actually called bitchin' burritos. One of the reviews said it was not only bitchin', but also bangin', and we can confirm that it's both. We also used chopsticks for the very first time, tried 7-Eleven cheese toasties, snacked on Blue Baby bottle pops, and drove along steep and windy roads with reckless motorbikes whizzing beside us, yacht rock blaring through the speakers.
By the end of the week, we not only created long-lasting memories, got pushed outside of our comfort zones countless times, and went on bucket list adventures, but we accomplished so much with our business. Throughout the 9 days, we got one-on-one feedback from Bri and Joe. We discussed affiliate marketing strategies, pitching, partnerships, structure and organization, writing, digital product optimization, email funneling, and rebranding. Here's a sneak peek at the rebrand. Alexys Abroad has a new homepage, a new logo, new structure, new fonts, new menus, new organization, and a new purpose. And our social media has a specific mission now, which makes us so excited to post content again.
And while all the adventures and co-working sessions were amazing, getting to connect with two dear friends and turn online friends into real life was a major highlight. While it may not have been the big group trip that was initially planned, these girls made the most of it and planned the absolute perfect trip. From the daily smoothies and coffees at our favorite coffee shop, 100 Islands, and the sunset margs on the picture-perfect beach to the sketchy jungle hikes and immersive culture experiences, we are forever grateful to these two for introducing us to a new country, planning such a fun itinerary, and helping us scale our business.
And even though we brought back more than just memories, I brought back a parasite. Yikes. So this trip to Thailand made a huge impact on us in more ways than one.
We now feel more comfortable and confident with international travel. Our eyes are more open to the realities of life outside of North America, and we feel excited and motivated for this next chapter in our lives and in our business.
If you'd like to see more of our adventures this year, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're backpacking Havasupai, trekking to Machu Picchu, section hiking the AT, backpacking in British Columbia, exploring Michigan's Upper Peninsula, and so much more. You are not going to want to miss these.
Until next time, we'll see y'all on the trails.